Hello, Foxy Finds here, and welcome back to Foxy Shiny Quest. We're picking right back up with the second half of catching the Pokemon from the Gen 6 gym leaders. Jumping right in, we have Clement. For his team, I picked Magneton. I had to carefully plan out when to catch Magneton, because there's a lot of electric gym leaders that use this family line. I would have hated to end up getting pretty far into the challenge and then having a gym leader that I just couldn't get a Pokemon for. Magneton are made up of 3 Magnemite. However, they weigh 10 times as much. It's not like it has any extra magnets or screws on it, but Pokemon does weird things with weight. If they made this Pokemon today, they maybe would have required you to get multiple Magnemite to evolve it. They're always coming up with new ways to evolve things. Next up is Valerie. I went with Mr. Mime, not by choice, but because the alternative was a Pokemon that would be much harder to get. Or so I thought at least. This Pokemon ended up taking me over a week to hunt. I had gotten ahead on my catches, and this one ended up still being a pretty close call. I caught this Pokemon in Legends Arceus. In this game, Mr. Mime can put up barriers that you can't get through. You can't throw a Pokeball at it, nor can you enter a battle against it. You have to either wait for it to drop its guard, and then do something before it puts a new barrier up, or leave and come back, but if it sees you, it'll just put up a new barrier. Mr. Mime was one of the few Pokemon that could not be caught in any of the games in the generation it was introduced in. As a result, a player couldn't get an unnamed Mr. Mime until Generation 2 came out. On to Olympia, who is essentially an oracle. She really should have just saved a bunch of gym challengers' times and just handed out badges or reviews based off of if they would have won or not. For her Pokemon, I went with Slowpoke and evolved it into Slowking. Well, Galarian Slowpoke into Galarian Slowking. Slowpoke, as I mentioned in a previous video, is slow partly because of its psychic powers. Slowking has a Shelder on its head, biting down and injecting poison into it, which allows Slowking to stay in the present moment, increasing its speed of understanding and intelligence. Galarian Slowking is based off of sorcerers and warlocks. Lastly, we have Wolfric. I caught a Snover and evolved it up into Abomasnow, based off of the Abominable Snowman and Evergreen Trees. This Pokemon is monstrous. Already a force to be reckoned with, they then give it a Mega Evolution. This becomes a more beastly version of itself. Unfortunately, this Pokemon does have a double weak to fire, so be careful using one. I would like to clearly state that Abominable is part of its name, and is pronounced as such. I've heard a lot of people pronouncing this Pokemon as Abomasnow. I can assure you, this Pokemon has never ran for president. Next week, I will be doing another filler video, and showing off some of the shiniest I've caught while doing this challenge. After that, we will return to finishing up the gym leaders. Just for fun though, I'm going to ask you to vote in the comments which is your least favorite Mr. Mime of these. Mr. Mime, Floor Mime, Real Mime, Maid Mime, or Tap Dancer Mime. Comment the number below and we'll see which one is the absolute worst. That's all I have for this video. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and as always, happy hunting!